the outlook for Bitcoin and the US real economy. Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. In the next 3 minutes, I'd like to share a brief outlook on 2 key areas of global interest: Bitcoin and the US real economy. Let's begin with Bitcoin. As of now, Bitcoin has been trading with significant volatility, but it remains in a long-term uptrend. One major driver is the increasing institutional interest, particularly following the approval of Bitcoin spot ETFs in the US earlier this year. This development has enhanced credibility and accessibility for retail and institutional investors alike. Additionally, the recent Bitcoin halving, which reduced mining rewards, is expected to tighten supply. Historically, halvings have preceded bullish cycles, and many analysts expect the same pattern to unfold again. However, we must also remain cautious of regulatory risks and global macroeconomic uncertainties, especially interest rate decisions by the Federal Reserve. Now, let's turn to the US real economy. Recent data shows signs of resiliency and employment remains low, and consumer spending is still relatively strong. However, inflation remains above the Fed's target, and interest rates are likely to stay elevated for a longer period than initially expected. This has led to concerns about a possible slowdown in sectors like housing, manufacturing, and small business investment. Still, the economy has managed to avoid a hard landing so far. Analysts are now increasingly leaning toward a soft landing scenario, where inflation gradually cools without triggering a deep recession. So what does this mean for investors and the general public? In the short term, we can expect continued market uncertainty. Bitcoin may benefit from loose monetary conditions if the Fed begins to cut rates later this year. Meanwhile, in the real economy, we're likely to see slower but stable growth, provided inflation trends downward and geopolitical risks are contained. In summary, Bitcoin shows long-term potential with short-term volatility, while the US economy is walking a fine line between resilience and fragility. It will be crucial to monitor central bank policy and macro trends in the months ahead. Thank you for listening.